Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Name the dog, Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is I didn't come up for a tag for this because I've already forgotten what we were talking about, even though we just said what the topic was. Friend Frank, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. I remember the topic, so I'll spring it on him.
Oh, I remember now. No,
yeah. Oh, there you go. You got it.
It just totally blanked out of my mind. I don't know what happened. So therefore, I couldn't come up with something witty, and I'm not gonna bother to redo the intro to this episode.
That's okay.
Frank.
We don't need to. How you doing? What kind of beer are you drinking? What kind of day you been having? All the above.
I am drinking a Narragansett Town Beach Day Pass IPA because I had a bunch in my fridge and I didn't finish them between the last episode and this one. And I'm getting to the point where I can't drink beers that have the word beach in them because we're definitely out of beach season. So
that is
true. Yeah, so I have to get rid of this. Yeah, exactly. But my day is quite good. How's yours, Frank?
Mine's going quite well, in fact. It's been a good day. It's been a good beer day too.
It's been a good day. It's been a good beer and a good year. Tires. Anyway.
Yep. Well, we got there. Tires.
I don't know. Anyway, what are you drinking?
I hate you sometimes.
I know.
I'm drinking. Are you familiar with the Alchemist brewery? They're the ones who make Heady Topper.
I was going to make a book reference, but no, I'm not familiar with that.
Oh God, you with your smartness. The Alchemist, Nicholas Flamel. Yeah.
No, the Alchemist is it's not Harry Potter related. The Alchemist is an actual book.
Yeah, that's what I was.
It's not about Nicholas Flamel. I don't think it is. I've never read it.
Okay, I'm going to use my one lookup because I thought that Nicholas Flamel was the. I've never read the books, but I thought that,
I know which book you're talking about. It's got like a green cover, and
I have no idea what the cover looks like.
I know what you're talking about. That is Nicholas Flamel. That is not the reference I was making.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but good for you.
That was the Alchemist that I know.
Oh, I'm thinking of a totally different one that I will look up individually from you after. Did you tell me what you were drinking? Oh, yeah. So tell me about this brewery, The Alchemist.
So The Alchemist is the name of the brewery. They're based out of Vermont. They make a very desirable beer called Heady Topper. So have you not heard of Heady Topper?
Oh, of course I have. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So for those who haven't, it's known up here in the Northeast in New England. It's very so they don't have. I don't think they have a tasting room, and they don't really have much distribution. They're starting to now in the Massachusetts area, but you can only buy 4 packs of this beer at the brewery, and they limit the number of 4 packs you can buy because it's so popular. People line up for hours to buy the beer. So I'm drinking the Alchemist Crusher, and I'm actually going to pull up the description here because the label is quite plain. So it's an American double IPA, and it's pretty heavy but pretty delicious. It's a pretty standard a standard IPA. It's a New England style IPA. It's quite heavy and quite delicious, and I really enjoy it. So
that's goody.
So yeah,
it's goody. That's goody two shoes of you. Yeah.
The Alchemist, the Crusher.
Okay. Paul Coelho's book, The Alchemist, is the masterpiece which tells the mystical story of Santiago, an Andalusian shepherd boy who yearns to travel in search of a worldly treasure. His quest will lead him to riches far different and far more satisfying than he ever imagined. Santiago's journey teaches us about the essential wisdom of listening to our hearts, of recognizing the opportunity and learning to read the omens strewn along life's path, and most importantly, to follow your dreams. Neil Patrick Harris calls it a brilliant, magical, life-changing book that continues to blow my mind with its lessons. A remarkable tome.
So I'm just sitting here. I think I'm probably realizing that for my entire life, whenever I've heard people talk about The Alchemist, I thought they were talking about the Nicholas Flamel one, but I guess they've been talking about this one.
Yeah, The Alchemist.
I'm familiar with Paulo Coelho.
The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel by Michael Scott is the one you were thinking of.
Oh my God,
Michael Scott.
It's The Office. It's the Office spinoff. This whole time,
totally unrelated. The Office. It's all of totally unrelated to everything we're about to talk about. Sure. But we did CPR training at work.
Okay.
And my friend convinced my boss to show the CPR bit of that Office episode. Do you know the song Staying Alive? Sure do.
Yeah. At first I was afraid. I was petrified.
It was the best. It was
no, Michael. Staying alive. Staying alive.
It was even the CPR teachers who had not seen it were in tears. People were roaring. It was hilarious. It was so good. Anyway, unrelated. Everyone should love The Office. The end.
Oh, but yes, agreed. I just watched that. We've been in the middle of a rewatch. Well, not really a real rewatch. Just whenever we have nothing else to watch, we just throw on a few episodes, and that one came on recently.
Sure. That's so good. I don't love The Office as much as some other shows, but that segment is one of the best 5 minutes of television.
It's so great. It's fantastic.
It's incredible. It's so good. Anyway, Frank, speaking of television, when you're watching TV, there are some things that kind of crop up, that you're just like, ooh, this is on. And then you sit down and you're like, I've seen it before. And then all of a sudden, I should probably get up and clean or change the channel or something. And then you just end up sitting there for the middle of a movie for another hour because it's already in the middle. And you're like, I shouldn't have done that. But you did it. And then you know what? What happens when it's on the next weekend? You do it again.
You do it again.
And again and again and again. So the question is, what are the movies? We'll just do movies, maybe not TV shows, but just the movies that when it comes on the TV, you're just like, everyone quiet.
Yeah.
This is on TV. Haven't you seen it before? It doesn't matter. I got to see it again.
You love a movie when you sit there and watch it, you watch the commercials and everything, even though your Blu-ray copy of it is in the next room.
Yep, exactly. Right? Exactly.
You're like, but it's on. It's on. Come on, let's watch it. It's on. Come on, guys. Let's just. I definitely have a bunch of those. I'm just gonna get it out of the way right away. Any Star Wars movie. Exactly.
Right. It's just gonna stay on. I don't care what else is on because there's some great stuff that I love that will go on, but Star Wars trumps almost all of them, if not all of them.
Yeah. And that's why I just want to get out of the way right away because I know we were both going to say it. So let's just say it and move on. I will say the most notorious time that I did that was Tim, and some people listening might know that I was in the hospital for a couple days last year. I'm fine. It was over a year and a half ago, but I was in the hospital for a couple days, and on the first day I got there,
and our episode still came out on time.
Damn right it did.
That's right.
I think.
I'm pretty sure they did.
I'm pretty sure it did, yeah. The hospital on TV, they were, I guess it was on TNT. They were doing a Star Wars marathon, and I happened to tune in the day that I got in the hospital. They were already in the middle of Phantom Menace. And I was
it was a marathon, wasn't it?
It was a marathon, and I caught it during near the beginning of Phantom Menace, and I was like, "Oh, leave that on," and my wife Marissa looks at her phone, and she's like, "Well, good news," and she reads off that all 6 movies were going to be showing, and I was like, "Yes!" yes. I may be sick, but at least I'll be happy. And I literally kept TNT on the entire time. I mean, we did tune in and out here and there, but they were doing the marathon like all weekend, right? So I just kept tuning back in, and I watched most of all 6 movies at some point.
That's the best.
So
that's the best.
Yeah.
We're like, nurses come in, they're like, what part is it on?
Yeah.
Like,
actually, there was one male nurse who was like, oh, right on, Star Wars. All like, yeah, that's he didn't really know. I mean, he wasn't like a super nerd like we are, but he was like, yeah, no, right on, that's cool. That's good stuff. Yeah, yeah. So we were able to talk about that.
My mom was in the hospital once, and her always keep it on is The Godfather. Any of them. And they were doing a marathon. It was the same thing because my dad was like, "Oh, honey, Godfather's on. You're gonna be fine. It's a good sign." And like nurses kept coming in, being like, "What part is it on? Did he leave the cannoli yet? Did he take it? Where's the God? Where's the horse? You know, like they
Where's the horse? Oh, you don't want to know.
You don't know.
You don't want to know where that horse ends up.
It's not on my hospital bed. I can tell you that much
for damn sure.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Star Wars. Good one.
Star
Good one
Wars
with the Star Wars. Good one, the Star Wars. My always, which I think is probably obvious to people, I think is Lord of the Rings. I will always keep a Lord of the Rings on above almost anything else. Maybe even Star Wars sometimes.
Above Star Wars.
Maybe it depends. I guess who's in. I guess it depends who's in the room, who's with me. So, like, if my fiance is with me, then it'll be Lord of the Rings over Star Wars. Not that she doesn't like Star Wars; she likes Star Wars a lot. But Lord of the Rings is something we share together.
You two are both Tolkien nerds, so
yeah, exactly. So we'll go. So we would choose Lord of the Rings over Star Wars in that instance. Myself personally, I would choose Star Wars over Lord of the Rings. But if I had the choice of watching like Fellowship or Phantom Menace, I'm probably going to go for Fellowship of the Ring.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although at the same time, I like those prequels just as much as the original trilogy. Not, they're not as good as I like them just as much.
Wow, right on. I don't know that I put them on exactly the same level, and I'm by no means a prequel hater. I'm a prequel lover. I could do a whole show talking about what it was like growing up as a kid, like while the prequels were coming out. Like I would very much do that.
Have we not done that?
I don't know that we have done it specifically as a topic, but I would totally do that.
I could do that.
I love the prequels, but I do revere the original trilogy a little bit, like a half step higher. You know, like maybe a full step higher. But it's close, but it's not like super close. But that's interesting. I didn't realize that you put them on like the same level.
Well, I think
cool.
Sometimes it depends on the mood that you're in. But see, like,
oh, totally.
I liked Star Wars as a kid, but I didn't love it until the prequels.
Yeah.
So it's
you know what? Actually, that is kind of the same for me. Yeah.
I recognize they're not as well made. I just like because of that, it's what pushed me to love Star Wars as much as I do. Therefore, I put them at the same level.
I get that. I fully get that.
Yep, which is why we watch them when they're on TV.
Why exactly. Mm-hmm. All right, so Lord of the Rings for you.
Yep. So let's go back to you.
Back to me. Well, just about. So the Sam Raimi Star Wars Spider-Man Sam Raimi Star Wars. Wait, that would be crazy if Sam Raimi did Star Wars. What would Sam Raimi Star Wars look like?
Less CGI.
Yeah. I feel like there would be like the Wampa's lair scene would be like a whole Evil Dead thing.
Yeah, it would be kind of zany. You're right.
There would be chainsaw lightsabers, right? And Luke would get.
I don't even know what that sound like. Somebody make that sound.
Yeah, I know. What does a chainsaw lightsaber sound like? Wow, Sam Raimi's Star Wars. No, but anytime Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies come on, I have to watch. Just a couple months ago, HBO was showing Spider-Man 2, and I tuned in halfway through, just was flipping channels. It was on. I watched to the end.
You know, I don't think those crossed my mind, but I think I would leave those on. I think you're right. I would definitely leave those on.
I really, really loved those movies when they came out. I don't know if I talk about it enough on this show, but like, Yeah, I mean, we did the whole commentary on the first Spider-Man, right? The Science Award.
Oh, that totally. Hold on. Side note, that reminds me, I was playing the Marvel Spider-Man, the
how's the
Insomniac game,
game?
which is awesome. It's so good. But I was like, you have to go around and collect backpacks to get stuff and blah blah blah.
All right.
And there's a science award.
Stop it.
In one of the backpacks, you get a science award.
Is it called a Science Award?
No, it's like a science prize or something like that.
Okay.
It's basically the same thing.
That's amazing.
It's the science
You
award.
can tell Damon that. That's incredible.
I will.
Oh my God,
or
that's
I'll let
incredible.
him listen to this episode and find out.
All right, he'll find out in a few days.
A couple, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. I loved the Raimi Spider-Man movies when they were out, and that's why it hurt so much when the third one sucked, because I was so
bad.
invested in them. For the first time, so you know this, I wasn't much of a theater goer when I was a kid, but these movies started coming out right as I hit my teen years, right? And when Spider-Man 2 came out, that was 2005, so I was like 15, 16. I was 16 that summer, and I saw that movie in the theater alone. And then I went back the very next day and saw it again, which I'd never done before, so it was like kind of a big deal for me. And like I couldn't drive yet or anything, right? So I had to like get a ride to the theater 2 days in a row and like make a whole thing. Like I loved that movie, and I may have seen it 3 or 4 times in total. Which again, at 16, when you don't have a lot of money, that was like a big investment.
You're putting all of your money into seeing that again.
Right.
Yeah. I saw the first one like 4 or 5 times in the theaters.
I didn't even see the first one in theaters. I saw it on DVD at home. And it just felt crazy in love with it. Watched it a million times at home, and then by the time Spider-Man 2 came out, I was all in, and I saw it like opening weekend twice.
They're still great, especially
They're
the
still
second
really
one.
good.
It's still really good. It's still up there, top 10 hero movies of all time.
Now,
it's so good.
Do they really hold up against today's? I don't know that they do, but
Some of the CG doesn't exactly, but there's so many practical effects in there because of Sam Raimi. All of Octavius's arms, for the most part, unless
that
he's
is
a full
mostly
body,
practical. Yeah,
it's all practical.
I meant
And,
more the storytelling and a lot of it doesn't entirely hold up, or a lot of the acting doesn't entirely hold up. Some of the choices they made don't entirely hold up today.
I think the first one is definitely like that. I haven't seen the second one for a long time. I'd have to go back and check.
The second one holds up better, but the first one has some. It's like it feels like a 90s teen drama.
Yes, it's a little antiquated.
Except
absolutely.
the teens are all 30.
Oh my God, isn't he just 30 years old? It's so true. So true.
Yeah.
Okay, so Spider-Man, those are good. I would definitely keep those on.
Raimi Star Wars.
Yep, Raimi Star Wars. I know this would be one of yours. J.J. Abrams Star Trek.
That was going to be one of mine, yes.
Always have to leave it on all the time. I cannot watch Into Darkness or Beyond, but the first one I will keep on. I will, if there's nothing else on, I will definitely keep the others on because they're good. And I'm an Into Darkness apologist. I think it's fine. It's not great. It's
not
good,
great, but it's good.
It's good.
I like Beyond better than Into Darkness, I think. And
yes, I agree.
For sure, 1,000% agreed that 2009 Star Trek is one of my all-time favorite movies ever. I love it. It's not better than Wrath of Khan, but I love it more than I love Wrath of Khan.
I definitely agree with that. I think it's the second best Star Trek film.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's second best, but it's my first
of
favorite.
the quote original crew.
It's
Wrath of Khan, then Star Trek, then the reboot.
Yeah, agreed.
And then Final Frontier, obviously.
Sure,
obviously, obviously, it's the motion picture.
No, I would put Star Trek 4 way up there. The Voyage Home, I would definitely put it way up there. I love it.
No, I know. I'm just messing around.
Yeah, but so yes, I fully co-sign this. Fully
co-signed, dotted. 10 out of 10 would revisit. Great.
I would.
Yeah. All right, that's my Star Trek. So, what's yours?
Okay, I'm gonna go in a little bit of a different direction here.
I was gonna go in a different direction next time too.
Yeah, because we've done a lot of the geek films. Apollo 13.
Ooh, interesting choice. Not surprising for you though, if you take a second to think about it. I'm like, Frank loves space, and he loves NASA. You love the NASA.
You do know this about me.
Yeah, you love the Apollo missions. You love them.
I love the Apollo missions. Yeah.
Are you going to see First Man on a total side note since it's Apollo missions? Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. What are you doing to me? Do you know me at all? I put on a spacesuit that one time. I left work
That
to
is
put on
true.
a spacesuit.
That is a true story.
Yeah.
And that's not even I put it on the internet. Like, it was not a secret.
No,
Yeah.
you went on your lunch break. Yeah,
Yes,
I
I
remember.
went on my lunch break because in Copley Square here in Boston, they had a big NASA exhibit, and they had you could walk into this little spacesuit that was like on a mannequin thing, and you could like put your arms in it and put your face in it and everything, and you could touch. They had a moon rock you could touch, and I got to do that. Touch a piece of the moon.
I didn't know that. Sure. That's cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. It was really cool. But yes, I very much First Man is like in the same. I think is going to be in the same sort of cut from the same cloth as Apollo 13. But yeah, I'm so excited. I love Apollo 13. I love Apollo 13. It's my favorite Ron Howard film. It's one of my favorite Tom Hanks films. It's so good. It tells such it's all a true story, very little fictionalized, a little bit dramatized here and there, but it's very little fictionalized events wise. It's like the triumph of the human spirit, not to be all cheesy and stuff, but that's literally what it is. I mean, it's these men who were on the worst shipwreck in human history and came back and lived to tell the tale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. The worst shipwreck in human history. That's crazy because it was a shipwreck, essentially.
That's
they're
exactly
on a ship.
what it was.
It's a spaceship, but they're on a ship.
Yeah. And it was just ingenuity that brought them home.
You could definitely do, I mean, you don't really need to right now because you just sold me in a very minuscule way, but you could definitely have sold me on Apollo 13 because like I like Apollo 13, but you're like making me love it and want to watch it right now.
It's such a fantastic film, like that people I don't think really think about a lot, but it's like kind of an exceptional movie. Also the CG in that movie, and that movie came out in 94 or 95. But the CG in that movie still holds up to this day in a lot of cases. There is CG of the there's CG of the launch of the rocket. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn. I might need to use my one lookup on this because it actually might be practical. But
if you're I don't know. I know their anti-grav stuff is when they were on a vomit rocket and all that stuff is filmed on.
That
yes, I know that.
You're definitely right about that. Yes, they use the Vomit Comet.
Comet, that's
that
it.
plane that does the big arcs. It goes up and down and up and down, and when you're at the pinnacle of the arc, you're weightless for a few seconds.
Yeah, they did it over 400 times.
Yes,
I know that.
Yes,
because I use a bit of that in the film class that I teach about practical special effects. Yeah, I know. You look that up. We're running out of time, so I want to keep going with movies. Again, different direction. Actually, I have 3 that are non-superhero. I'll do the non-action one, Little Women.
Oh, ooh, that's a good one.
I know. Great movie, Little Women. Claire Danes, Susan Sarandon, Winona Ryder, Christian Bale, Gabriel Byrne. Great movie. Kirsten Dunst as a kid. Fabulous movie. I think everybody pretty much knows the story of Little Women, but it's about these sisters growing up in Concord, Massachusetts during the Civil War, and it is. I grew up. It was hands down one of my family's favorite films. We'd watch it all the time. We make reference to it. Who makes references to Little Women?
Only your family.
Only my family. And then when I met my fiance, she made references to it, and I was like, well, this is just freaking meant to be because obviously Little Women and stuff. So crazy.
That is an obscure thing for you both to have in common. Wow, that's crazy. That's awesome.
I know.
I love that.
It's so weird. Awesome. I know. It's so weird. That's why I proposed at the Real House. A lot of details about my life today in this episode.
I didn't really connect that as the reason why, but now that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. It means a lot to both of us. So
now I understand just how much it meant to you.
Very cool. So that's mine with the Little Women. I think I've got 3 more. So let's.
Oh wow!
So I don't forget them.
What? I don't know that I have 3 more. So why don't you lightning round those?
Lightning round. Brendan Fraser's The Mummy.
Oh, nice.
Great movie. I can't not watch it. I can't not watch it. Yeah. I love that movie. I've been waiting to actually watch it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I have been in the mood to watch it. It's so good. It's so much fun.
I bet I know one of the other ones. Go ahead.
Oh, you think you do, laddie? Ho ho ho!
I have
You
an
think
idea
you
what one of
do?
them might be.
All right. What do you think it is? Actually,
Nope,
I can just tell you.
Nope, I don't want to steal your thunder.
Okay. Next one, Air Force One.
Oh, good one. Oh yeah, that would fall under for me too. Yeah,
I will always watch Air Force One when it's on TV. It is a great movie. It was the first movie I ever saw Gary Oldman in.
Oh, nice.
And so, like, when I learned he wasn't Russian, it blew my mind. And arguably, I think Harrison Ford is more of a badass in that movie than any other movie, and that includes Star Wars. Or Indiana Jones. Because Han Solo and Indiana Jones are like they're kind of bumbling in their own way. You know, like lazy bumbling, or they like get into traps and they're like, how am I still alive? Who knows? But Harrison Ford in Air Force One.
Yep.
Harrison Ford in Air Force One is the coolest dude.
Yeah.
And he is the best president in the entire world. Almost as cool as Martin Sheen in The West Wing or Michael Douglas in The American President.
All right.
Yeah. And then my final one, The Birdcage.
Not what I was expecting. A good movie.
I know. I knew you weren't going to think it. The Birdcage is my all-time favorite comedy.
Really?
I love that movie so much. I will watch it every day the rest of my life and still laugh at it.
I didn't realize just how much you loved it. Wow, that's awesome. I love that.
It is a hilarious movie. When Robin Williams died, that's the movie I watched.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Sad.
I'm still sad about it.
I'm still
sad about it.
Me too.
His biography, by the way, Robin, is really good.
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
If it's on Audible, I'll add it to my queue.
It is on Audible.
Great.
And the narrator does a good Robin Williams.
Oh,
so when he talks about his bits and stuff like that, he's kind of able to go into Robin Williams without being disrespectful. It's really good. Yeah, that's a lot of work. The Birdcage is my last one.
Cool.
Potentially my Big Fat Greek Wedding. Throw in number 4.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So
I thought for sure you would say The Shadow, Alec Baldwin.
Okay. Never on TV. Maybe that's why I didn't think of it.
Maybe.
But great.
Okay, fair.
Maybe. But I'm very conscious of like who's in the room with me to watch stuff.
Yes. Well,
and
I'm just assuming, like, for me, I've just been assuming you're alone and this comes on TV. Like,
you're alone. I would probably, if I'm alone, that's definitely staying on the TV.
Yeah.
There's no question. I considered The Shadow superhero or really geek, so I tried to steer clear of that.
That's fair.
Because although not many other movies I think I'd keep on besides those superhero movies that I mentioned. I'd probably keep on Batman 89. I'd keep on Jaws.
Yeah, I figured you'd keep on Jaws. I'd keep on Superman Returns. I'd keep on Indiana Jones: Last Crusade, Scott Pilgrim, Shaun of the Dead.
I always keep on Indiana Jones.
Yeah. I mean, anyone, but especially Last Crusade, Scott Pilgrim, Shaun of the Dead, and Independence Day. I love those movies.
Oh, you do love Independence Day. Yeah. I keep on Hot Fuzz over Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I'm not as much a Hot Fuzz guy.
I know. I love Hot Fuzz. I don't know what it is about that one specifically. I don't know why. I just really like it.
I don't know what it is about that one that I was underwhelmed by. I like it, but it's just like not my favorite Edgar Wright. But
yeah.
I want to follow up on Apollo 13 real quick because I did use my one look.
Oh, good.
So what the story I was going to tell real quick was just that there are some shots of the Saturn V rocket taking off where they used a blend of actual footage, close-up footage, and then like CG and practical effects all blended together, intercutting the different shots. And some of the NASA folks, when they were watching the movie for the first time, when Ron Howard showed them in a private screening, they were like, "How'd you get that camera angle of the set? Like, where'd you even find the archive footage that close up?" And he's like, "Oh no, it's a digital effect. Like it's not real." And they were like, "That's insane. I've watched hours of footage of this, and I was fooled by it."
Wow, that
was in '95, but some of it still holds up.
Well, think about like even some of the stuff in Jurassic Park that still holds up because when you think like you put all of your money and effort into creating 30 seconds of incredible CGI, even in the '90s, it can trick you.
Yes,
because instead of making a 2-hour CGI movie, you make 30 seconds of it. Like you have time to make it great. Anyway, wow. Frank, this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. Thanks to Damon for this suggestion.
Thank you very much, Damon, for the suggestion. This is great. The best thing that came out of this, though, is that in my Googling real quick here, I found out that Apollo 13 came out last year in 4K HDR, and I just bought a 4K
That's
HDR
what you need
TV.
to watch on your TV.
That will probably be the first movie that I watch in 4K.
Awesome.
I've watched
Great
some TV,
choice.
but I'm gonna have a movie night and watch that. So
great,
I'm really
great
excited.
choice. Great choice. Okay, so you can find us on beerwithgeeks.com and Twitter and Gmail and Facebook. You can find us on iTunes and Google Play and Spotify and all the places that podcasts can be found. You can also, of course, rate and review us on iTunes and find all other Thought Bubble audio shows at www.thoughtbubbleaudio.com. That is it for us and for everything forever. Until next week. Right?
Yes, sir. So long, and thanks for all the fish.
So long, and thanks for all the fish. So glad that it has come to this. Cheers.
Cheers.